Hello, everybody. This is Trinity Thomas, the senior at the University of Florida. Yes, indeed, scored a perfect 10 on this vault at the National Championships over the weekend. It was her 28th perfect score of her collegiate career. And on top of that, tied the NCAA all-time record. 28 perfect 10s. Unreal.
Oh my gosh. That landing was unreal, wasn't it?
Stuck the dismount, as they say. Stick the dismount.
She's going to the Olympics. I think she's a future Olympic star. Wow.
I'm blanking on the name, the one everyone loves. She reminds me of her.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. She'll be
Yes.
like the next Simone Biles, yeah.
Killing it. 28 perfect 10s. Unreal.
We see it happening.
Indeed.
Oh my gosh.
And don't adjust your TVs.
Yes, you might see something else happening right here, huh? Did you notice? Rob and I noticed when we came into work this morning. Got a new couch.
New couch. Reupholstered, to be clear.
Yes.
but a brighter
Same
color.
couch as we sit at the end of the show every day.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
time, same couch.
Same
Same couch.
Different color, but a
Yeah.
little brighter, a little, kind of fits with the tone of the show, so we kind of like it.
Yeah,
And now
love
this is
it.
officially a no beverage zone. No beverage zone with a light colored couch, no kids,
This
and no
is
drinks.
true. Yeah.
But yeah, so we like it. It's good.
It's pretty.
Indeed. So let's begin, as we like to do here, with the stories from the very top of our feed as we catapult into the week, like the gymnast does. Here we go. We start today with the yeah, you see.
That was good what you did
I'm
there.
Inspired by the new couch. We start today with the music of the night coming to an end on Broadway.
Phantom of the Opera ended its remarkable 35-year run on Sunday. The show had been running longer than Adele, Taylor Swift, and Miley Cyrus have all been alive.
Yeah.
14,000 performances have been seen by more than 20 million people. About 6,500 performers and crew members have had the honor of working that show.
It's
so legendary.
Oh my! I mean, it really. I mean, when you think of Broadway, the certain shows that have been around so long. You know, and certainly Phantom
Yes.
is top of that list. 35 years. That's a remarkable run.
Oh, it is.
If you're in theater,
That's
you
an
dream of
achievement.
that kind of success, and they've had it for more than 3 decades.
Right.
So yeah.
And that show is like synonymous with Broadway, right? When you think about the famous
yeah.
Broadway shows, there are some that always stay. And then there are ones that come and go, and you see them if you're in town, or if you're lucky enough to live in New York, you can get to the theater more often. But that one, I mean,
that's King of the Hill. King in terms of longevity, the Mount Rushmore Broadway musicals, and the writer of the production dedicated the show.
Andrew
not dead on
Lloyd
the set,
Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber
Yes,
dedicated it to his son, who passed away of cancer just a few weeks
really,
ago.
Rob?
So he dedicated the show to him last night, which was beautiful, and kind of left the door open, you know how they do, to maybe a revival at some point. So, if something that's successful, that profitable, never really totally goes away. It will be something else. But the initial iteration is over after
Yes.
35 years. Yeah.
Oh,
20
my gosh.
million people. Think about that.
it's remarkable.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, hats off to all of those crew members and performers, and job well done.
Absolutely.
Oh, and we're going to continue with our theme of record setters this morning with one that makes my arms hurt just thinking about telling this next story.
We want you to meet Lucas Helmke, and you can tell this guy hasn't missed arm day at the gym in quite a while. He is the new Guinness record holder for push-ups in an hour. Ready for the number? Okay, again, push-ups in an hour. 3,206. That is nearly one every second for an hour. Again, for an hour. Just want to, in case you didn't hear me, for an hour straight. He says it took 3 years to build up the strength, and he did it to teach his young son that nothing is impossible.
Boy, is that incredible.
Julie wants you to give that picture up a little longer.
He's so funny. He's fit. He's a fit
fit.
guy.
He should be.
I mean, wow. Kudos to him. I mean, when you break it down, like you did when you're saying, think about one every second.
Yes.
Every second, and to endure that for an hour. I mean, when you think about who does a burnout maybe at the gym where you see how many push-ups you can do in a minute or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Think about that burnout and how your arms feel like jello. And then
How can you feel the next day?
For an hour.
There's not enough icy hot in the world.
Right.
How did he feel the
Yeah.
next day? You know?
Totally. And to build up to that, like the practicing he must have done. Wow.
Impressive. And a great message to his son. So bravo on every level, sir. You know, the gun show is in town, right? Well, now to a story that will inspire the wanderlust in all of us. It centers on a DJ from San Diego who has one of the most unique checklists most people probably have ever heard of.
Yes, he is one trip away from completing a lifelong mission. Sierra Encinas caught up with him to show us his story.
His blazer says it all, a patch from every country he's visited in the world, and even a map to prove his travels in his office.
Here's Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia.
Ramblin' Randy's really made his bucket list a reality.
To date, I have traveled to 192 out of 193 countries. Turkmenistan is the thorn in my side. It's one of the last countries to open up since the pandemic, and I've been just waiting to get in. It's my last country and it's been closed.
You might recognize the man behind the travels.
It is R-Dub. I'm going on vacation next week.
He's R-Dub from your afternoon drive on 92.5. It's really been a lifetime journey, but he says his goal started as visiting every country in Central and South America, but then turned into what it is today.
People often ask me what my favorite country is. I'd probably say Brazil. It's the only place I moved to.
He's also been to places not many other people can say they have, like North Korea.
Imagine a destination where you're not free to just walk around by yourself anywhere. I mean, you were with your government minder the entire time. They were absolutely 100% friendly and hospitable. I had a wonderful time. I was scared to death leading up to the trip to North Korea.
But he says he would go back again. If you ask him what he's learned from it all, he'll tell you.
I've learned patience, I've learned gratitude, I've learned how lucky I am to be American and live in America. I think the biggest thing I've learned is a tolerance and acceptance and a love for all cultures.
192 countries.
That's a full passport. A lot of stamps on that man's passport.
His passport's been like that thick.
I do think one of the, it's just life because you get busy with work and families and other stuff that comes along. But I think most people would love to travel more and see more of the world than they probably end up seeing in a lifetime because, you know, again, life takes over. You just can't spend your life on a plane. You got bills to pay and kids to raise and grocery store trips and all that kind of stuff. But so I look at a story like that, I'm like, wow, that's really amazing. He's literally seen the world.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think that's just a great way to live. We're just confined by other things sometimes to get anywhere near 192.
It's remarkable. And where he has the time to do it. I mean, he's a radio host. I would think that job is very demanding. And he probably has great content to talk about when you take all these trips. Come back on a Monday morning and just let the listeners know where you've been, what you saw, who you talked to.
It's amazing.
It's great.
Well, Afternoon Focus staff, we're going to take this show on the road. Different country every week.
Love the sounds
I'm sure
of
that's in the budget. And a different couch in every city. Imagine that. We'll talk to managers about that after the show. For now, though, time to bring you a few quick extra stories, just stuff that's fun to know, a little brain candy on Monday. And our focus today is the celebration of one of America's first ports of entry, the one and only Ellis Island.
Yes, this remarkable footage we want to show you comes from the Library of Congress. It dates back to 1903. On this day, in 1907, nearly 12,000 people were processed at the Immigration Center, making it the busiest day in its history.
It's also fun to know that the first people came through Ellis Island New Year's Day, appropriately enough, right, in 1892. They were teenager Annie Moore and her two younger brothers. Wow. They had come from Ireland here to reunite with family. Moore and her brothers are memorialized, in fact, right there at the statue at the island's museum.
And the island was originally just 3 acres, but it's grown to 27, and it is named for its last private owner, Samuel Ellis, and he opened up a small tavern to cater to fishermen, and when he died, his heir sold it to New York State, who then promptly sold it to the federal government for $10,000.
Wow. Oh, as a 10-year resident of New York and another life, I love seeing those pictures, and you represent what Ellis Island means and what the Statue of Liberty means, and I know there's all kinds of debates that rage on, but that we are a nation of immigrants.
Yes.
Unless you're Native
We're the
American.
melting pot, right.
Unless you're Native American, you came here from somewhere else.
Exactly.
That's what America is, and that's remarkable to see that footage, you know, the history of that extraordinary island and what it meant for people coming from somewhere else to come into that harbor and get into America, the land of opportunity. Just beautiful. It's a beautiful history.
Yes, yes. And I think something, at least I know with my own family members who, came through there. I'm Italian. I've talked to them before on the show. They came from Italy, my relatives, and really wanted to be Americans, very, proud to become American citizens, and it meant a lot to them to learn the language, to learn the culture, and some of my, other, even like my parents and some of my other, aunts and uncles, who didn't learn the language, who can, hear it, understand it, said, well, that was because they wanted to speak English here, and they really wanted to, become part of the culture and our country. So
absolutely, historically, we are a doors wide open country. So it's a beautiful history, really is. Yeah.